Hey, it's Frosty, and today at GeekPoints we're going to be reviewing an anime called Area 88. I think Philip's going to be heading it wherever he is. I don't know.
Hey guys! So, Area 88 is this really great, well okay, it's not really great, it's kind of so-so. But it's an anime about a little air base in the middle of the desert, who knows which desert where.
It's Area 88, no one's supposed to know.
That's a good point. But it follows a photographer who is sent to get a picture of a dead man.
Except he's still alive.
Yeah. And he doesn't die. He refuses to. It's an okay show. We gave it a 4.5 out of 7 because the dialogue is kind of flat.
The story is pretty slow when they're not flying.
And the characters are really very two-dimensional with the exception of Shin and Boris.
Maybe a little bit of Kim.
Yeah. The good points, though, are, you know, the airplane physics is really good with a handful of exceptions.
Also, the art is actually very accurate.
And which is a little bit surprising considering how often they just go, F it, let's not try to mimic any real airplane or any real tool, weapon, whatever, we're just going to make our own. But,
like, first episode, I'm like, hey, is that guy flying an F-14? I think he is flying an F-14.
And he doesn't have a Rio!
Because Mick's just that badass.
He doesn't need a Rio. I don't always fly an F-14, but when I do, I don't need a Rio. But Rio, in case you don't know, it's Radio Intercept Officer. And he sits in the rear seat of the tandem aircraft.
Like this. He's backwards.
No, he's only...
Some of them are.
Right, I think the Panavia Tornado and one other, he's backwards.
But in F-14s they're forwards, right?
Right. What was the other good point? Kim's airplane. That's like the best part.
It was a Harrier.
Now it's a Harrier / Jaguar - Tornado. It's a little bit of everything.
She takes parts from other planes and makes them work in her plane.
Kim's a guy.
Oh, damn it!
He's a trap. I mean, he's got girl eyes and red cheeks.
Facial structure. Everything looks like a girl. And then I read the text. He.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Japan! Why the frack?
It is Japan.
Yeah, well, anyway. Boris is, like, the best character. And he's not the main character. And he's only there for one episode. And he's still the best freaking character.
It's kind of sad when your most developed character is only there for an episode.
Yeah, it's the second episode. He's the Angel of Death.
He's known as the Angel of Death because when you fly out with him,
you don't come back. But Shin and Kim came back, which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Boris did not. You know, he and Shin fly the same kind of plane, the F-8 Crusader.
His last words were,
turn off my light.
When you get back to base, turn off my light.
Because he can't sleep in the dark. Because when he turns off the lights, he sees the faces of all the pilots who've flown with him. Starting with Steve. Or, Steve-oo!
Steve-oo! Steve-oo!
It's really funny, because they use the name Steve, and because in Japanese, some
E's are pronounced Steve.
Well, but anyway, there are subtleties of the Japanese language which I will never understand, and I won't try to understand. One of which is there are no interior L's. So, if you ever hear a Japanese... I think I might be the only one who laughs when I hear a Japanese man say election. No, I'm not. Excellent. But, sorry, that was a really racially insensitive joke, and I'm sorry. Next is... the ratio of male to female characters is pretty bad.
It's like 50 to 1.
Yeah. On this entire air base, there's one female pilot. She gets there like halfway through the season.
And she's still badass.
Yes. She's like Maverick from Top Gun. She does stupid shit in the air, but somehow manages to survive.
Like, there was this one, I think it was like her first flight.
Yeah. She hadn't even gotten a check ride yet.
Yeah. So, she was like, oh, there's 7 guys coming? I can take them.
In her Mirage 2000. And then Shin has to borrow an F4 with no missiles.
Just 20 millimeters.
And go save her ass. Yeah.
All of the face palms. But all in all, she's a pretty good character.
And she's one of the more fun characters.
Yeah. Every anime has that one, like, fun character who's just, oh, I'm better than you.
Yeah, she's kind of arrogant, and, you know, all of the fighter pilots and ground techs and whatnot are hitting on her, and the only person she seems interested in is Shin.
Because he has a woman.
Yeah. It's one of those things where the moment you have a girlfriend, you are infinitely more attractive.
Damn it. That's why I'm not attractive.
Yeah, pretty much. Come on. Seriously?
Seriously.
But anyway.
Anyway. Okay.
I forget where we were, so let's just start with talking about some of the episodes and parts that we really liked. My favorite episode is the second one because that's the one that Boris is in.
I like the one with the sniper, even though it's completely unrealistic.
He shoots out the tires of a moving airplane.
Yeah, not gonna happen, but still pretty cool. And let's see, I also really like, it's one of the last episodes, the one where they are flying through the canyon, and they get I think that's like 7 or something.
Oh, so it's just a little over halfway through. But, my favorite part of it is, you know, at the beginning, when they're talking about how every pilot has his favorite seat, and that's where he always sits. It's good luck, whatever. And then at the end, when a whole bunch of them didn't come back, the cafeteria lady goes through and puts trays of food at everybody at the favorite seats of those who didn't come back.
It's a really powerful message. They could have pulled it off just a little bit better.
Yeah.
But it's still there.
And Kim hates sauerkraut. Shunk. Oh, do I have to have so much sauerkraut? Eat up or you'll never grow big. And then the photographer doesn't get very much sauerkraut at all. He gets like 2. He gets like
Kim.
Yeah. And I also like the episode where the photographer buys Kim the jar of strawberry jelly. Just yo, that's sweet. And towards the end, the photographer really gets kind of adopted into society.
Well, yes and no.
Yeah, I mean, he's still a bit of an outsider, and McCoy royally screws him. Because, you know, he's finally decided that he's not going to go through with what he was hired to do.
And then McCoy's like, haha, let's make some money.
Yeah. And
even though he does that, I still like McCoy.
Yeah, he's one of the cooler characters.
You can always trust him to do anything for $1, though.
Yeah. So what's your biggest seller? Caskets.
Casket.
He's a bit of a creepy character, though. But, you know, he's taking pictures of all the pilots, and he hangs them up, and, like, the Boris episode, he takes a picture of Boris that he was going to give to him when he got back, but he didn't come back.
So he gave it to Shin.
Yeah. And he, you know, there's the character, the Buddha guy. The first episode, he gets hit pretty bad and his airplane's on fire. They put it out and then he goes back up. Hey, McCoy, you got any alcohol? Rubbing or brandy? You know what I want, and he pours it on his head. Weird.
But anyway.
Waste of booze, man. Waste of booze.
And then he takes a swig and takes off in a damaged plane. Because they have to pay the $3 million, or $1.5 million. Which is
it's 1.5
million. But every time they need to buy another airplane, it adds on to their...
They have to repair their planes from pocket, refill their planes from pocket. Sorry about that, a truck just drove by. But they have to pay all the damage and stuff themselves. So if they want to repair their plane, it costs money.
Yeah, and they get a set amount for each fighter plane, enemy fighter plane that they shoot down, and set amount for ground targets. But
unless otherwise specified, of course.
Yes, and they are fined $500 for refusing orders, which is probably one of the real kickers. Although there's an episode where Shin, Mick, and Kim stay behind because they know that with all the planes gone, they were going to be attacked. And so they earned more money than anybody else shooting down attackers.
Yeah, they lost the 5,000.
And then more than made it up.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think it's an okay anime. I really like it. Don't know why. I just do. We give it 4.5 out of 7, which is literally 1 point above 50%.
It's not the worst anime out there, but it's definitely not the best. Hold on for a second, the car is driving by again.
It's the same garbage truck. He just turned around.
Who knows? Alright, but speaking of airplanes, we're going to be doing a Top Gun review sometime in the near future.
Yeah. And we might do Final Countdown at some point. I'm trying to think of all the airplane movies. There are a lot of them, and we may or may not review any of them. I really like airplanes, so we probably will at some point.
You really like airplanes.
But yeah, they're awesome. I was going to go into the Navy as a naval aviator, except my eyes are terrible and my knees. You okay, dude?
Yeah, just give me a minute.
But anyway, so we're going to see you next week or whatever. You know, stay geeks, have fun, and stay safe.